Okay, so have you ever felt like you've been tricked into signing up for something online?
Oh, yeah.
Like you're just trying to buy something
Oh,
and all of a sudden you're stuck with like a subscription
oh, cold.
that you didn't even want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really common experience.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah. And it turns out
Yeah.
the Federal Trade Commission,
Oh.
or FTC,
Okay.
is taking aim at Amazon over these kind of tricky tactics.
Interesting.
We've got all the court filings.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to do a deep dive
Okay, cool.
into the world of Amazon Prime enrollment
I'm ready.
and cancellation practices.
That sounds fascinating.
It's a really interesting case.
Okay.
It reveals a lot about how big
Yeah.
tech companies operate.
Right. So
Yeah.
before we get into like the weeds here,
Yeah.
let's talk about just how important Prime is to Amazon.
Right.
It's huge, right?
Prime is a behemoth.
Yeah.
It generates $25 billion annually,
Wow.
which is just a crazy number.
That is a lot of cash.
It is. And to put that into perspective,
Okay.
70% of Amazon's revenue comes from American consumers.
Oh, wow.
Now consider this.
Okay.
Prime members spend way more on the platform
Really?
than non-Prime members.
Oh, interesting.
So every canceled Prime subscription represents
Yeah.
a hit to their bottom line.
I see. So that's why they're so interested in making sure people stay subscribed.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the FTC is alleging
Yeah.
that Amazon uses what are called dark patterns
Ooh, dark patterns.
to make signing up for Prime
Okay.
remarkably easy.
Yeah.
But getting out, that's another story.
Okay, let's unpack these dark patterns a little bit.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
So essentially, dark patterns are these
Yes.
sneaky design tricks
Yeah.
that are used to kind of nudge you
Yeah.
towards choices that you might not make otherwise.
I see.
So think misleading buttons,
Mhm.
hidden information,
Yeah.
confusing layouts.
Okay.
Anything that makes it super easy to accidentally sign up
Mm.
or incredibly difficult to say no.
Oh, so they're like
Yeah.
almost like tricking you into it
Without you really
realizing.
Yeah, that's the crux of the complaint.
Okay.
The FTC claims
Yeah.
this is a carefully crafted strategy
Okay.
to boost Prime subscriptions.
So it's not just like an accident that the website's designed this way?
It's deliberate.
Very much a deliberate tactic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you give us some specific examples?
Yeah. So one of the most
Yeah.
blatant examples
Okay.
is the Universal Prime Decision page,
Okay.
or UPDP.
The UPDP got it.
It pops up during checkout,
Okay.
and the button placement
Uh-huh.
is, shall we say, strategically designed.
Okay.
The big prominent button enrolls you in Prime,
Right.
while the no thanks option
Mm-hmm.
is often this tiny little link that's easily missed.
Oh, yeah. I've totally fallen for that before.
Yeah.
Like you're just trying to like quickly check out,
Exactly.
get your purchase
You need to
done.
hurry. Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're a Prime member.
Bam, you're in.
Yeah, and you're like, wait a minute.
Right. It really preys on that
Yeah.
hurried checkout mindset.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so that's on the website. What about on mobile?
On mobile, it gets even more interesting.
Oh, house.
You're often required to scroll to find critical information, like the price,
Okay.
and that it auto-renews.
Oh.
That stuff is buried off screen.
Oh, wow.
You have to scroll to find it.
So you might not even see it.
Yeah, you could easily miss it.
So they're basically making it harder to make an informed choice.
Right. There.
It's like you have to go out of your way to find the information you need.
You really have to be looking for it.
That's pretty sneaky.
Yeah, it's very cunning.
Okay, so we've got the UPDP, we've got the mobile stuff.
Oh.
Is there anything else?
Well, then there's the Prime Video sign-up process.
Oh, right.
You can subscribe to just the streaming service
Yeah,
without
without getting the whole Prime membership.
the whole package.
Right.
But the FTC claims
Yeah.
that Amazon makes it really tricky
Oh, really?
to do that.
Interesting.
The website seems designed to steer you
Uh-huh.
towards that full Prime package,
Even if you don't want it.
even if all you want is the streaming.
Yeah, okay. It's all starting to sound very deliberate,
Yeah.
like a carefully constructed maze
Right.
that's leading you right to a Prime membership.
Yes. And are you ready for the truly frustrating part?
Oh, no. What's the catch?
So, canceling your Prime membership.
Oh, here we go.
Apparently, Amazon internally nicknamed
Oh, no.
their cancellation process Iliad.
Iliad.
Yes, after Homer's epic poem about the Trojan War.
Oh, my gosh. Are you serious?
I am not making this up.
That's pretty dramatic
It is right.
for a cancellation process.
Well, the FTC argues the name is fitting.
Okay.
They claim Amazon intentionally designed the cancellation process
Uh-huh.
to be a multi-step odyssey.
So you're saying it's not as easy as just like clicking cancel?
It's not just one button.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, it's multiple pages.
Oh, wow.
A barrage of offers designed to keep you subscribed.
Okay.
And generally unclear instructions.
Like they're trying to confuse you.
It was a deliberate attempt to wear you down,
Oh, wow.
hoping you'd give up and stay subscribed.
Okay, so this is like
Yeah.
pretty frustrating from a consumer standpoint.
Very frustrating.
But, I mean, I have to say it's kind of clever
It's definitely
from like a business perspective.
right.
Like they're doing everything they can to hold on to those subscribers.
It's a tactic that
Okay.
definitely raises some ethical eyebrows.
It does, but I mean, it's effective.
Right.
But what makes this whole thing even crazier is that according to these court filings,
Yes.
they knew about this the whole time.
They did.
They knew that they were making it difficult to cancel,
It wasn't a secret.
and they just didn't care.
It's not quite that simple.
Okay.
Internal documents
Uh-huh.
and employee testimonies revealed that there were ongoing internal discussions
Okay.
about the ethics
Okay.
for both the enrollment
Yeah.
and the cancellation process.
So some people were raising concerns.
Some employees were pushing for changes,
Okay.
but it seems those concerns weren't always prioritized.
Oh, so they knew it was kind of shady.
They were internal.
And they decided to just keep doing it anyway.
It seems that profits often take precedence.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
But what's really fascinating to me is that they actually had a project called Project Lucent
Project Lucent,
that was aimed at making the enrollment process more transparent.
a very hopeful name.
Yeah. So, like, they had this idea that they were going to make things better.
They were going to simplify things.
Yeah. So what happened to it?
Well, the results were interesting.
Okay.
It did lead
Yeah.
to a reduction
Okay.
in accidental signups.
Good.
However,
Oh.
it seems that transparency came at a cost. What do you mean? Well, Amazon ultimately scrapped Project Lucent.
They got rid of it.
They did because it was negatively impacting
Oh, no.
their subscription numbers.
Yeah. So they were like, okay, this is good.
Mhm.
We're making things clearer.
Right.
Less people are accidentally signing up.
Yeah.
But then they decided to scrap the whole thing
They did.
because it was affecting their bottom line.
That's what the FTC is alleging.
Wow. So they basically chose profits over transparency.
And they have internal documents
Oh, wow.
to support this.
That's crazy.
One internal memo even acknowledges that
Yeah.
making the enrollment process clearer
Yeah.
would be a bad guy
Oh, my gosh.
to total Prime subscriptions.
Wow. It's very telling.
Yeah, very revealing.
Oh, like,
I mean, it really seems like
Yeah.
they were prioritizing profits
It definitely
over just being straightforward and honest with their customers.
raises questions about their priorities.
Yeah, so this isn't just about the enrollment process either, right?
Right.
The FTC also has issues
Yeah.
with how Amazon responded to their investigation. That's right.
Oh, so things got a little...
To put it mildly,
Okay.
the FTC claims that Amazon
Yeah.
deliberately stalled their
So
investigation
they're not cooperating.
by providing limited information
Okay.
and resisting document requests.
So they were like, we're not going to make this easy for you.
It seems they weren't eager to cooperate.
Classic corporate stonewalling.
Classic.
But how did the FTC ultimately get the information they needed?
It took a leak
Oh.
to Business Insider revealing.
See, someone on the inside was like,
Someone spilled the beans.
yeah.
It revealed Amazon's practices to the public.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's really what got things moving.
So it took a leak for them to actually start taking things seriously.
Public pressure is a powerful motivator.
It really is.
Yeah.
So what happened after the news broke?
Okay, so they
Did Amazon make any changes?
did.
Okay.
Amazon actually simplified
All right.
the cancellation process
Okay.
before the FTC filed their complaint.
So they kind of got ahead of it.
They did.
Once they knew that people were watching.
Yeah, the FTC argues
Okay.
this was simply a reactive measure
Okay.
to mitigate bad publicity.
So they weren't actually committed to, like, changing their ways.
That's the FTC's argument.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was more like a PR move than anything else.
Right.
Okay. So what's the FTC's, like, main complaint?
So their core complaint
Yeah.
remains
Yeah.
that Amazon was knowingly using
Okay.
manipulative tactics
To get people to sign up for Prime.
to boost subscriptions.
Yeah.
Potentially at the expense of their customers.
Wow. This whole situation
Yeah.
really makes you think twice about all these, like, convenient online services.
It does.
Like, it's so easy to just click through things.
Right.
Without really paying attention.
And this case really shines a light
Yeah.
on the tactics the companies use
Yeah.
to influence our choices.
Without us even realizing.
Often without us even realizing it.
Yeah. It's kind of scary, actually.
It is a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a reminder
Yeah.
that we need to be savvy consumers.
Be more aware.
and pay attention to what we're agreeing to online.
Absolutely. So what's the latest with the legal battle?
Okay, so the legal proceedings are ongoing.
Okay.
We can probably expect a lot more back and forth between the FTC and Amazon.
Right.
These cases can take a long time to resolve.
Oh, so we're not going to have a resolution like anytime soon?
That could drag on for a while.
Okay, so what does this all mean for us? Like for the average online shopper?
Right.
What can we learn from all this?
I think this case raises important questions about the power dynamics between consumers and big tech.
Right. Because these companies have so much power.
They do.
And they're kind of using it
Right.
to take advantage of us in a way.
Yeah, it highlights the need for greater transparency and ethical design practices in the digital world.
I mean, it's so easy to think of like clicking through a website as just like a passive thing.
Right.
But we're actually making choices.
We are.
Every time we click a button.
We have agency.
Yeah.
And we need to use it.
We need to be more mindful.
We do.
Okay. Yeah.
What can we actually do to protect ourselves?
Well, I think it starts with awareness.
Okay.
The more we understand about these tactics, the better equipped we are to spot them.
Right. So we need to, like, educate ourselves.
Yeah. Do your research.
Okay.
Pay close attention to buttons and checkboxes.
Right.
Look for hidden fees, auto-renewal clauses.
Right.
Any language that seems unclear or deceptive.
Like, we need to become, like, digital detectives.
In a way, yes.
Yeah, scrutinizing every click.
Don't be afraid to abandon your cart.
If something feels off,
if something feels wrong, just walk away. Yeah, you don't have to buy it.
You have the power.
It's so easy to just get like caught up in the ease and convenience of online shopping.
The convenience shouldn't come
at
the cost of our informed consent.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
Amazon might be seeing like short-term gains from these tactics.
Yeah.
But could this backfire on them in the long run?
That's a really interesting question.
Because I feel like if I found out that a company was like deliberately tricking me, I would not be happy.
You wouldn't trust them anymore.
I would probably not shop there anymore.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
When people feel tricked or manipulated, it erodes trust.
Right.
And in the long run, these practices could damage Amazon's reputation.
Yeah, and it could make people less likely to want to use their services.
People might start to think twice about shopping there.
It's like a classic case of, you know, short-term gains.
Yeah.
Potentially leading to like long-term consequences.
It makes you wonder if prioritizing ethical design from the outset might be a better strategy.
Right. Just be honest and upfront.
For building lasting customer loyalty.
Yeah, like if they had just been transparent from the beginning.
Exactly.
Maybe people wouldn't be so upset.
I think you've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
This case is a reminder that trust is valuable.
Yeah.
And it's something that companies should prioritize as much as profits.
Right. Because without trust, you don't have customers.
You don't have a business.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, this has been a really insightful deep dive into Amazon Prime. I know I'm going to be much more cautious about those buttons from now on.
Me too. I'll be watching closely.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So what can we expect next in this case?
Well, the story is still unfolding. We're going to continue to follow the FTC's case against Amazon and keep you updated on any major developments.
So for now, we leave our listeners with this final thought.
Okay, hit me.
How can we as consumers advocate for more transparency and more ethical design in the digital world?
Such a good question.
Like, it's up to us to demand better.
We need to make our voices heard.
Yeah, this is a conversation that we need to keep having.
It affects all of us.
And it's going to take all of us working together.
Absolutely.
To make a difference.
Right.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
On this journey.
Yeah, this is great.
Of discovery into the wild world of Amazon Prime.
It's a jungle out there.
It really is.
Stay safe.
So stay tuned for part 2.
Can't wait.
Where we'll continue to unpack this case.
Looking forward to it.
And explore its implications for all of us.
It's going to be good.
And remember, dear listeners, every click counts.
Every single one.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.
See you next time.
So it seems that transparency came at a cost.
What do you mean?
Amazon ultimately scrapped Project Lucent.
No way. They got rid of it.
They did, because it was negatively impacting their subscription numbers.
Oh, wow. So they were like, okay, this is good.
Right.
We're making things clearer for people.
Exactly.
Fewer people are accidentally signing up.
Yep.
But then they just scrapped the whole project.
They did.
Because it was hurting their profits.
That's what the FTC is alleging.
Wow. So they chose profits over transparency.
And they have internal documents to back that up.
Oh, wow. That's kind of messed up.
One memo even says that making things clearer would be a bad guy to total Prime subscriptions.
Oh, my gosh. They actually said that.
It's in the documents.
Wow, that's very telling.
It is.
I mean, it really seems like they were putting profits ahead of being honest with their customer.
It certainly raises questions about their priorities.
It does. So this isn't just about the sign-up process, though, right?
Right. The FTC also takes issue with how Amazon responded to their investigation.
Exactly.
So things got a little heated.
To put it mildly,
Okay.
The FTC claims that Amazon deliberately stalled the investigation.
Really? So they weren't cooperating?
Not really. They were providing very limited information.
Okay.
And they were resisting document requests.
So they were basically trying to make it as difficult as possible for the FTC to do their job?
It seems that way.
Classic corporate stonewalling.
It is a classic tactic.
So how did the FTC finally get the information they needed?
It took a leak to Business Insider.
A leak? Wow.
Someone on the inside spilled the beans.
Oh, wow. So they revealed all of Amazon's shady practices to the public.
And that's what really got things moving.
Wow. So it took a whistleblower to bring this whole thing to light.
Public pressure can be a powerful motivator.
It really can. So once the news broke, did Amazon make any changes?
They did.
Really?
They actually simplified the cancellation process.
Oh, so they finally made it easier to cancel?
They did. But this was before the FTC filed their official complaint.
Okay, so it seems like they were trying to get ahead of the bad publicity.
Right. The FTC argues that this was just a reactive measure.
Okay, so they weren't actually committed to changing their ways?
Not necessarily. It seems more like a PR move.
So what's the FTC's main complaint then?
Their core complaint remains the same.
Okay.
That Amazon was knowingly using manipulative tactics to boost Prime subscriptions.
At the expense of their customers.
Exactly.
Wow, this whole situation really makes you think twice about all these online services that seem so convenient.
It does. It makes you realize that convenience can come at a cost.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like we're trading our privacy and our autonomy for the sake of convenience.
This case really highlights the tactics that companies use to influence our choices online.
And we often don't even realize it's happening.
Exactly. It's a reminder that we need to be more aware.
Yeah, we need to be more savvy consumers.
And pay attention to what we're agreeing to.
Absolutely. So what happens next with this legal battle?
Well, legal proceedings are ongoing.
Okay.
It's probably going to be a lot of back and forth between the FTC and Amazon.
Okay.
These cases can take a long time to resolve.
So we might not have a resolution for a while.
It could be a long process.
Okay, but what does all this mean for the average person?
I think it raises some really important questions about the power that big tech companies have.
Yeah, they have so much influence over our lives.
They do, and this case highlights the need for more transparency.
Yeah, and more ethical design practices.
We need to demand better for these companies.
I mean, it's easy to just click through websites without really thinking about it.
Right, but we're making choices every time we click.
Every click counts.
Exactly. We have agency, and we need to use it.
We need to be more mindful of our choices online.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what can we do to protect ourselves from these kinds of manipulative tactics?
That's a great question. I mean, it feels like we're up against these giant corporations.
We are, but knowledge is power.
Okay, so we need to educate ourselves.
Yeah. Learn about these tactics so you can spot them.
Okay, so do your research, pay attention to the details.
Exactly. Look for hidden fees, auto-renewal clauses, anything that seems unclear or deceptive.
It's almost like we have to become digital detectives.
In a way, yes. You have to be skeptical.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to walk away if something feels off.
You always have the power to say no.
That's a good point. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the convenience of it all.
But convenience shouldn't come at the expense of our informed consent.
Yeah, that's so true. I have another question.
You shoot.
So Amazon might be seeing some short-term gains from these tactics?
Right.
But could this backfire on them in the long run?
That's an interesting question.
Because I feel like if I found out that a company was deliberately trying to trick me, I wouldn't be happy.
You wouldn't trust them anymore.
Exactly. I might even stop shopping there altogether.
Right, and that's the thing. When people feel tricked or manipulated, it erodes trust.
And trust is so important for any business.
It is. In the long run, These practices could damage Amazon's reputation.
Yeah, and make people less likely to use their services.
People might start to think twice before shopping on Amazon.
Exactly. It's like a classic case of short-term gains leading to long-term consequences.
You're right. It makes you wonder if they would have been better off.
Yeah.
Just being honest and transparent from the beginning.
Yeah, maybe they would have built more customer loyalty that way.
I think you've hit the nail on the head.
So what's the takeaway here?
I think the takeaway is that trust is valuable.
More valuable than short-term profits.
Exactly. It's something that companies should prioritize.
Because without trust, they don't have a business.
They don't have customers.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into the world of Amazon Prime.
It has been.
I'm definitely going to be more cautious about those buttons from now on.
Me too. I'll be watching my clicks carefully.
So what can we expect to see happen next with this case?
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
The story is still unfolding. But we'll continue to follow the case and keep you updated on any major developments.
That sounds great. So for now, we leave our listeners with this final thought.
Hit me.
How can we as consumers advocate for greater transparency and ethical design practices in the digital world?
That's a million-dollar question.
We need to make our voices heard.
We do. This is a conversation we need to keep having.
Because it affects all of us.
Absolutely. Yep. And it's going to take all of us working together to make a difference.
Yeah, it's like we need to take back some of that power.
Exactly. We have a voice and we need to use it.
Yeah, we're not just pawns in their game.
Right. We can demand better.
Yeah, and support companies that are actually trying to do the right thing.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been a really eye-opening deep dive.
It has.
Into Amazon Prime.
A lot to think about.
I know. I'm going to be looking at those online shopping carts a lot differently from now on.
Me too. Every click matters.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, we'll leave our listeners with one final thought.
Hit me.
What can you do starting today to advocate for a more transparent and ethical digital experience?
Such an important question.
It's a conversation that we all need to be having.
We do.
Because it impacts all of us.
Yeah, and it's going to take all of us working together to make a difference.
Oh, absolutely.
So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, this was great.
On this journey of discovery.
Learned a lot.
Yeah, it was really fascinating.
Into the sometimes shady world of Amazon Prime.
It can be a bit of a maze out there.
It really can be. So stay informed.
Stay vigilant.
And stay curious.
Always.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.
See you next time.